And so we will go ahead and start. I want you to introduce yourself with a couple of personal things about you that will help you be relatable to us, and a couple of your accomplishments too, because you're very accomplished in life.
Well, thank you. You're too kind, Colleen. But no, I'm happy to share a little bit of background and context. I think it all begins with my why. I've always felt that the meaning of a life is to live it in a way to make a meaningful difference, and I think that value system is largely shaped by my upbringing. My mom and dad were divorced when I was a young age. So my mom was a self-employed beautician. Worked a couple jobs to provide for my older sister and myself. We grew up modestly, but we had an abundance of the one thing that mattered most, which was love. And my mom, she's she passed away over 15 years ago now. Miss her every day, but she was one who always felt that there was nothing I couldn't do, nothing I couldn't achieve. I mean, she just believed in me in a way like, if you want to change the world, Kevin, you can do it. And I think that mindset, carried throughout my later education, throughout my career, through my life, what I'm doing now. But when I graduated college, I graduated Gettysburg College in the late 80s and started my career in the corporate world. And it was a Fortune 500 paper company at the time. And I quickly rose the corporate ranks. 12 years into it, I was promoted to director of one of its largest business units. The sky was the limit. I was kind of like the golden child, and the future was bright. The problem was is that I was miserable. And the further up the ladder I went, the more miserable I became. I really enjoyed mentoring a team and bringing out the best of them and helping others. But at the end of the day, paper important, but not very meaningful. So after my promotion to director, I literally had an epiphany and I realized life's too short to not enjoy what you do. So I left the corporate world behind. Many people thought I'd lost my mind because everything seemed to be so great. And I literally went into the wealth advisory business and started a wealth advisory practice, which is now known as Smith Wealth Advisory Group. Very meaningful to me to help translate my clients' monetary resources into meaningful life experiences. So I've been doing that for over 20, almost a 25-year anniversary next year. But this value system that, the belief that the meaning of life is to live it in a way to make a meaningful difference took on a whole new meaning on Good Friday morning, 2023. And it was a simple act of kindness that really started me on what I call a surreal adventure of a lifetime that continues to this day. A routine errand for my wife, who sent me to the grocery store on Good Friday morning to pick up a couple items. Nothing complicated. Only someone like me could screw it up because I purchased the two items just fine. I checked out, drove straight home, realized I left one important item behind, which was my wallet. And in that moment, it was 9:55 a.m. I returned home, realized I left my wallet behind. At 9:57 a.m., like an angel out of heaven, there's a young woman holding my wallet at my front door, asking if it was mine. And a simple, innocent attempt to identify who this young woman was, to thank her in a more meaningful way, then just took on an indescribable adventure of a lifetime. I can't put it into words. There's a movie coming out called For Such a Time as This that's going to try to describe it in a little less than 2 hours. But there's no words that could ever do it justice. It literally took on a life of its own, became so much more than acknowledging this young woman and thanking her in a more meaningful way. It actually opened up pathways to bring people and communities together at a time our world needs it most and actually make a meaningful difference more broadly. And it ultimately inspired me to form the nonprofit Kindness Worldwide, which has a vision to create a culture of kindness in communities throughout the world. There's multiple pathways to attaining that vision. Our signature initiative, Kindness Week Worldwide, entails elevating kindness to the global shared value that represents all of humanity. This is a movement that's now spreading to communities all throughout the country and the world. I gave the keynote address in Palermo, Italy at the 11th General Assembly of the World Kindness Movement last October. And there I called on leaders at all levels, every mayor, every governor, every president, every prime minister, every country, state, province in the world, including every member nation of the United Nations, to formally elevate kindness and recognize this meaningful week. And I think we all universally agree that our world needs more kindness. I don't think anyone would disagree with that unless they're hiding under a rock. Well, how do you get something we all universally agree we need more of? I believe we encourage it, we recognize it, we reward it, and we celebrate it. That's what Kindness Week Worldwide is all about. There's a framework, donating blood, very symbolic of paying an act of kindness forward. Police departments issuing kindness citations to recognize the good that defines our communities, engaging ecosystems, schools, businesses, faith-based organizations. I believe if we inspire people, we can empower people into action. And I think our world right now is looking for leadership, looking to be inspired, something that unites us all. So hence Kindness Worldwide. And I'm now the founder and chief kindness chaser of what's emerged as a global nonprofit, going from lost to global scale at warp speed. But really fundamentally, I mean this sincerely, at my core, I'm just an ordinary guy who was touched by the actions of an ordinary woman who did an extraordinary thing. She was kind. That's it. I just want to say thank you in a more meaningful way. And now I'm running a nonprofit. I never in my wildest dreams thought, A, I would start a nonprofit. B, run a nonprofit that has worldwide in its name, but it's called Worldwide for a reason. So I'm just relying on instinct. I'm figuring out as I go, surrounding myself with good people with heart, passion, and purpose. When you do that, magic happens and miracles manifest. And this has nothing less than a miracle in terms of what's happened so far, but also where this is heading. So stay tuned. And with that, that's a little bit about myself and how I got here.
Okay, so let's talk about Kindness Week Worldwide. What do you have special things you're doing that week? Same old celebrations. What can we expect going into that?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you a little bit about Kindness Week Worldwide, how it came about. So again, I was sitting down one day, and this attempt to recognize this young woman publicly, it started with a community celebration of kindness, and then it later evolved. And I was sitting down one day, and I read where it was National French Fry Day. And look, I like French fries, but too many French fries aren't good. And it occurred to me, well, you can never have too much kindness. Is there a World Kindness Week? So I did a little Google search, and the short answer is there really wasn't. There was an attempt at having one, and I read somewhere where the World Kindness Movement was trying to get the United Nations to formally recognize a Kindness Week. And I'm like, well, why don't they? And why hasn't it happened? And so that's kind of how it occurred to me that, Kindness Week, should be elevated, and how it came about. Number one is the framework of Kindness Week Worldwide is let's do proclamations and resolutions to formally recognize it. Proclamations, resolutions are largely symbolic, but symbolism matters. And if we have mayors, governors, county commissioners recognize a Kindness Week through proclamations, now it opens up a conversation. What's Kindness Week all about? How can we celebrate it? Well, there's a framework. And then there's ways we can embrace that framework, limited only by the bounds of imagination and creativity. What's the framework? Well, number one, the way the week falls, it's always 8 days. It is always the Saturday before World Kindness Day to the Saturday after. World Kindness Day is always November 13th. So this year, Kindness Week Worldwide is November 8th through the 15th, Saturday to Saturday. Why 8 days, not 7? Well, on this journey, it was originally going to be a regular week, Monday to Sunday, and then colleague of mine said, well, Kevin, you really should try to book in 2 weekends. 2 weekends are better than one. I'm like, well, that's a good idea. So we made it 8 days. I think kindness deserves an extra day of the week. So we added an extra day. And by then I identified 8 characteristics of kindness. So symbolically, we have 1 day for each characteristic. So the framework includes formal recognition by governing bodies, number one. The ultimate vision is all 50 governors, every country, every member nation of the United Nations. And as crazy as it sounds, there's a path to get there. And we will get there, just a matter of when, not if, but that's at a high level, top-down approach. Bottom up, get your cities, your mayors, your small towns, boroughs, et cetera. I believe we can also inspire people to donate blood. I read in this journey that there is a shortage of blood supply throughout our country. Well, the way the calendar falls, Veterans Day in the United States always falls during Kindness Week Worldwide. In my mind, there's too many people that just view Veterans Day as a day off work, and they don't really focus on what that spirit of that day is all about. I believe we can honor our veterans, many of whom have shed their blood for the freedoms we enjoy. I believe we can, show our gratitude, our respect for their service, 3 of the 8 characteristics of kindness, by the way, by donating our own. And if we do that, we can literally save lives. It's a very symbolic of paying an act of kindness forward. And so that's within the framework, blood donation. Kindness citations I mentioned earlier. Over the last number of years, I think we've all seen events and police community relations have been less than ideal. Well, I think that kindness citations is a way of changing the paradigm. Let's have our police see the good that defines our communities, reward kindness, the good citizens that are in our country and in our world, and also have our citizens see the good that defines our police departments, who are by and large really good, heroic people. So kindness citations is part of the framework. Kindness cards, promoting mindful kindness, simple acts of kindness. I think making kindness top of mind, intentional in our daily lives and routines. We have multiple merchants, coffee shops starting for one. Coffee shops are community hubs of kindness where people come and congregate and connect. So we have multiple coffee shops and other merchants in my home county of York County at time of purchase during Kindness Week, giving out a Be the Good card. A Be the Good card has 16 different individual acts of kindness. There's 16 cards. Each one is a different act. Simple thing from give dignity to a homeless person by acknowledging them. Or maybe it's compliment someone. There's always a reason. Or thank someone who may not hear it enough. 16 simple acts of kindness, one on each card. At time of purchase, a merchant's giving that to a patron, and they're encouraged to perform that act and pass it on. Beyond that, it's just setting the tone, inspiring and mobilizing ecosystems, schools, businesses, faith-based organizations to embrace the spirit of this meaningful week any way they choose, limited only by the bounds of imagination and creativity. So that's a little bit about Kindness Week worldwide, some of the framework, some of the things that are happening locally, but also beyond. In York County alone, there are 23 municipalities that are proclaimed Kindness Week. But it's not just York County where this movement began. It's Westminster, Maryland. It's Edina, Minnesota, right outside of Minneapolis. It's Chula Vista, California. It's Claremont, California. It's Yamundi, Australia. So this movement of Kindness Week is spreading. And again, the vision is that we, every year, this 8 days, everyone comes together, put our differences aside, and focus on what unites. And if we can do it for 8 days and try to turn the tide, so to speak, I think we can develop mindful habits that extend throughout the year. That's how we create a culture of kindness, and that's how we change the world. So that's what Kindness Week Worldwide is all about. And by the way, I apologize. My wife came in and gave me a note. If you can see it, it says slow down because I'm very passionate. So when I'm passionate, I can speak very fast and very loudly. So in any event,
That was
She's
her.
always
That was
someone
her
you
act
can
of
count
kindness.
on. She's always someone you can count on to find out about your shortcomings. I hear it. My wife's just the same.
well, my wife, it's funny. This has been a journey. It's been an adventure, but my wife's the one that sent me to the grocery store on Good Friday morning, for this routine errand. And when things are going really well, I mean, this has been a very meaningful adventure. But when things are going really well, I say, Ann, well, you're the one that sent me to the grocery store, in a very endearing, complimentary way. But this journey's had its moments. It's been intense, and it's literally turned our world and our lives upside down. And so when things are kind of tough, I'm like, I said, well, Ann, you sent me to the grocery store. Now she's telling me to slow down. So, but she's always got my back, and I'll always have hers.
Does anybody have any questions at this point?
I'm rubbing off on you, Kevin. That's why you're talking fast.
There's a lot in there, Mike. I got to get out in a short period of time. I'll never succeed, but I got to slow down sometime and take it all in.
Hey, you speak from the heart, buddy. That's all I can ask for.
Okay,
Oh,
so
and I don't have a question, but I have a little something I'd like to add to that. I think that this is a great idea. And back when I was in Illinois and my meetings were in person, I would get 100 people who would show up every week. And somebody had once told me about the idea of pay it forward. And I kind of didn't know anything about that. I just had done a lot of those kinds of things, but never thought about it as actually something that people thought about doing. So one night before my meeting, I stayed up until midnight and I took out 100 envelopes because I knew I would have 100 people. And I thought up 100 things that I thought people could do. And I really came up with some creative different things. And I put one inside of every envelope. And when people signed in to my meeting, they were given an envelope and told they were not to open it until the end of the meeting. And so everyone took it. And I told them all, I said, I want a commitment before you open your envelope. If you commit to do whatever's inside that envelope, then you can open it. If not, throw it in the trash on your way out the door. And they made the commitment that they would do it, and they opened it up. And I had stuff like go to a senior residence and read to someone for an hour, or go to a senior residence and let them talk to you about their life or their stories. All kinds of things were in there. And people opened them, and I said, now read it to the person next to you and let them know what you've committed to do. And then I want you to come back in a month. I want you to do it once a week, every week, and then come back in a month and tell me how it was. And it was amazing. It changed so many people that they said it made them continue to do this long afterwards. And the feeling that they got for doing something that they had never expected to ever do. And one of them actually was to donate blood. And the gentleman said to me, and it's been 37 years now, and he said, I still donate blood. And he said, I would have never even thought to do it except you asked. So I think that it's a great thing. And I let them get up in a month and start sharing their stories. And you could have cried when you heard how they had taken what was in the envelope and even expounded on that and done even more than what I had asked. And it was a really great thing to do. So I want to quickly share one with you that has always stuck with me that I did myself. I remember in the fall, late fall, early winter, being in line at the grocery store, and there was a woman in line in front of me, probably in her mid-20s, and she had a baby with her, about 7 months old. The baby was not dressed for the weather. There were no shoes and socks on, very light clothing and a light jacket. And she had put everything up on the register. And as things were going through, she would stop the cashier and say, how much is my total? So I knew she was watching that total very carefully. She probably had limited money. So she had some things that she asked the cashier to take off. One was a snowsuit for the baby, and I don't know, a few other things that probably were things that she didn't have to have, but wanted. And so the cashier put them aside. So while the girl was bagging her groceries and putting them in the cart with the baby, I said to the cashier, what's the cost of the snowsuit? And she told me it was like $24 or something. And then I said, I want you to ring up all the rest of that stuff and put it on my bill. And she said, are you sure? I said, that's what I want to do. And so she bagged it up and gave it to the girl. And the girl said, no, that's the stuff that I can't take. And she said, but that lady just paid for it for you. So she was just flabbergasted and wanted to cry. And she said, why would you do this? I said, just one thing I ask. At some point in your life, when you have the means, I want you to do this for someone else. That's all I asked. I said, look, I was a young mom at one point too, and I had to count my money. And I said, I know what that feels like. I'm not going to be without to share that money with you today, but I would rather that you have what you need for the baby. And even when I went out to my car afterwards, she was still waiting for me to exit the store and was ever so grateful. And I think I will never forget that, because it was probably the one that meant the most to me that I've done. And I've done lots of things like that, but that one meant the most. So I think that giving like that, you get so much more than you can ever expect from that feeling.
From the moment I met you, Lynn, I said you were an angel in training, and that is just proof positive.
Amen. Amen. Well, one of the be the good cards is be an angel today to someone who needs one. And you certainly were that on more than one occasion. And what you described is beautiful, by the way. And thank you for your leadership and your example, because you mentioned so many examples where you were the ripple that subsequently became a wave, where people followed your lead. You inspire people, like for donating blood, or you touch someone's life, encourage them to pay it forward. And that's a power that each and every one of us has. I think we often underestimate what I believe is the world's greatest superpower, and that is kindness. And it's something we each have within our control. And if we simply exercise that power, the impact, not just on others, but you touched on ourselves, it comes back. I mean, there's a whole science behind it. People live longer. The risk of dementia is less. It reduces cortisol, stress, anxiety. I mean, there's a science behind it. I say this tongue in cheek, but it's true. I often say the most selfish thing one can do is be selfless, because when it's about others, it comes back. My favorite quote is, be the reason someone believes in the goodness of people. It's by Karen Salmonson. And you were that reason, Lynn, and you continue to be that reason, and that inspires others to be that reason too. And I really think if we boil it down to the basics and the essentials, it sounds idealistic, and it is in many respects, but it's very realistic. If each and every one of us, in each and every moment and each and every day, would try to be the best versions of ourselves and be that reason someone believes in the goodness of people, our world would literally instantly change. So often, we point the finger at others. I do that a lot. I used to do that a lot. And I realize there's a lot of finger pointing that can go around, but it changes nothing. We can't control the actions of other people, but we can control our own actions and behaviors. And kindness is a choice. And if we simply choose to be kind, it will literally change the world around us and the broader world at large. And in many respects, that's what this movement is all about. I call kindness worldwide our story because it is. It's not my story, it's ours. This movement would be going nowhere were it not for people like you and others who are coalescing around it, leading by example, seeing the magic in our midst and doing something about it, taking action. So thank you again for the beautiful stories you shared, for all you're doing day in, day out. I know this is not a unique thing for you. This is a habit. This is something it's who you are. And kindness is something we all should be and aspire to be. And that will inspire others to follow the lead of our example.
I just want to interject really quick, and then we'll go to Phil and Carl. So in one of my networking meetings last week, we talked about the reason that nobody talks about when they do acts of kindness. And I think this society has made it to appear that we are boasting or that we are bragging about something that we've done or accomplished. And the truth of the matter is the stories need to be heard because they serve as inspiration. And so even if you need to put it in a third person reference and share it, they still need to be heard and they need to be shared. They are inspiration. And when people hear your story, then they think, oh, she made such a big difference doing such a little thing. Surely I can do that too. And so we have to be bigger than society when we decide who we are as individuals. And we have to step up and share. And the people who know us know that we're not coming from a point of bragging. And also, it can also be done in different ways, like by third parties, so that it's not like, hey, look at this great thing I did, or even just become known for doing those things. That's an important thing. Go ahead, Phil, and then we'll take Carl.
Oh, I think Carl was first.
That's fine. Phil, go ahead. No
Oh,
worries.
okay. All right. So I just wanted to share that back when I was in Wichita, Kansas for a number of years, there was a radio station that would always do this pay. I forgot what they called it, but anyways, you would pay for the person behind you in the drive-through. So even though that's amazing what you do, Len, a lot of people don't do that awesome kindness because they don't want the praise, like they don't want the spotlight on them. So this is like a really easy way. The next time you're at a drive-through, just pay for the person behind you because they'll never see you, and you don't have to be that embarrassment if that is a thing that comes up in you. But then you also get to witness, if you will, to the person that's serving you, right? Because they're like, oh, really? You want to do that? Anyway, so then you can kind of get out of there. Because every time I did it, I always kind of wanted to get out of the way because I don't actually want them to come and be like, oh, thank you so much, right? Because it's a little awkward. So anybody that's maybe having some of those feelings, that's a super easy way that you could just pay for the person behind you. We all go through drive-throughs, right? So anyways, just want to share that.
Okay. Did you want me to start? No. Okay. Yeah, I totally agree with everything you said, Kevin, and everybody else as well. And I just want to, it doesn't have to be a big thing you do, just like we were talking about the drive-through. We have an Aldi's near me. I don't know if you all go to Aldi's or at all, but if you get a shopping cart, you have to put a quarter in the shopping cart, right? Well, I'm 9 times out of 10 when I'm out there, I get my groceries, I take it to my car. I leave the quarter in there for somebody else to have. I mean, it's just a quarter, but you'd be surprised that when somebody comes up to you, tries to hand you a quarter, and you say, no, just pay it forward, right? And hopefully they do. So I think a lot of it's about reciprocity, and actually I formed my entire group, and Rob Homan, who's a partner in my group, understands that we follow the Zig Ziglar philosophy, which is basically if you help enough other people get what they want, you'll get what you want, which is kindness. And so if you don't, I think if people just can get to the point where they take themselves out of the equation and put others in their equation first, I think the world would be a better place. I think people would do more business. I think networking would be more successful to bring it to a business side. But I try every day. My mom said to me, I mean, when I was a kid, says, all you have to do is treat other people the way you would like to be treated, and everything will be fine. And if you always keep, and I thought, well, what a great philosophy. I mean, it stuck with me from the time I was a kid. So I really think that I try to live that. Nobody's perfect. I'm not always perfect, but I do my best to try to do something positive for someone every day. Doesn't have to be a big thing. I mean, right now I'm helping a young lady who's not getting her food stamps, and she's, not going to get a Christmas. Okay, so I've never had a Christmas tree in her life. She's getting a Christmas tree this year. So, I picked her to help this year. And it doesn't mean that I'm anything that's great or wonderful. It's just, it makes you feel good when you can help somebody else. I think I get paid back in spades. And the same thing in business. When I can help somebody in business, people, because I do free business consulting, I do it because I know there's a lot of people that need it. And when I see somebody succeed, that's like a paycheck. I mean, it doesn't have to be a monetary thing. So I just encourage everybody, go out today and just do one thing. It doesn't have to be a big thing, a quarter in a basket at Ollie's, whatever it is, but just do something to help people. And that's what our philosophy is in our group. And that's what my philosophy is in life. So
All
that's
right,
my
Mike,
story. That's my story. I'm sticking to it.
I love it. Thank you. Mike, do you have a video ready to roll?
No, but Nicole does. I think it's funny. Every time I go to say something, you pop back in like Beetlejuice. So I'm not, you could
I
just
feel
take
like
it,
I
but
just
I'm,
rose from the dead, just so you know. I'm laying back in my chair. I'm like, up.
yeah. Well, and after that, Kevin, before you leave, don't forget to explain if you don't mind, because we've been at this a year. We were doing this when we didn't even think it was going to catch on, right? Flash in the pan, feel good movement. But we had Jamie Norpel, right? York has proven, without a doubt, rate of returns actually makes sense. That government model is more efficient when kindness is the banner and the foundation. Property rates went up, crime rates went down, all because of a unifying factor and strength of leadership. So it's not feel good fluff. I don't do that either. So but yeah, Nicole, you got the video, and Kevin, go ahead.
Nicole, before you take that video away, I want to just share something. I've never shared this publicly, so y'all feel privy, right? My kids have everything they need in life. We've made sure of that. They legit have no need for a single thing in life. And so when the holidays come around, and we really always try to be super creative in what we do for them and how to get them involved in the community. And so a couple of years ago, we did a kindness, like a treasure hunt, if you will. And so each of the kids got in the mail, because I have some kids that live out west, a box. I shipped them a box. It had money to buy poinsettias. It had cash in it. It had quarters in it, Ziploc bags of quarters. It had sidewalk chalk. It had Christmas candies. It had sticky note pads. It had garland, the silvery stuff kind of garland. It had Christmas lights. It had some decorations you would put on porches. And with it came a list of things that the kids needed to do, and they needed to record this. And this was when TikTok was just getting really popular. And so I had to they had to go they had to find somebody who didn't decorate for Christmas and make sure that they didn't decorate because they couldn't afford to, and they had to decorate their porch. They had to make cookies. The cookie ingredients were included. They had to make cookies for somebody and take them to them and deliver them. They had to take the money and spend it how they saw fit for another family and record them doing it. And they were so creative. I had 7-year-olds that were taking $20 bills and sticking them in diaper boxes at Walmart. Okay. The kids took the candies and stuffed them in mailboxes all around town. They took the quarters and taped them up at the laundromats and at the little vendor machines where you get balls and things like that, right? They took them in the Ziploc bags and stuck them up. They took the notepads and wrote uplifting Christmas messages and to put them on so many cars. They had to wash somebody's windshield. This is the funniest thing. They had to wash somebody's windshield at the car wash. Well, nobody would let them. And I will say that my son and my son-in-law look like they just fell out of the Ozarks. They're fully bearded. They're very gruff. They're very dirty. They work hard for a living, and they look like it. And so when they would approach people at the car wash, be like, "Ma'am, can I wash your windshield?" Everybody's like, "No." Finally, my husband pulled in. And so all the kids washed my husband's windshield of all the funny things because nobody else would let them. They had to return the grocery cart for somebody. There were all these things. They had to write messages on the sidewalk with the sidewalk talk. All these things they had to do, and they had to videotape it. And then come Christmas, and we've spent thousands of dollars on them. I mean, it's a ridiculous amount of gifts and fun and things we do here. And when they came in for Christmas, we sat down and we watched everybody's video first, and it was just huge. It was just really huge. Now my daughter did get bit by a dog delivering cookies to our mechanic, which is kind of a funny little thing, but it was just really, there are so many ways, especially with the holiday seasons coming, that we can do little things. And I tell you, if these 5 and 6 and 7-year-olds can figure out how to be kind, then as adults, we can certainly show the way. Nicole, you want to play that video?
No sound?
Is there no sound on that?
Not on my end. Did anyone else have any sound?
Okay, let's try it again, guys. Here we go. You wouldn't know I did this for a living. Here we go. We'll start it all over. You hear it?
You're good. It's loud and clear.
Can a random act of kindness spawn a worldwide movement? Yes, it can. When a wallet was returned just moments after it was lost, a purpose was found. This one act of kindness inspired the formation of the nonprofit Kindness Worldwide, with a vision to inspire a culture of kindness in communities throughout the world. Our signature initiative, Kindness Week Worldwide, launched in York, Pennsylvania, saw the entire community mobilized to celebrate kindness in many forms. Kindness Week featured initiatives and playbook programs, including blood drives, kindness cards, K-12 and college students embracing kindness, acts of service and charity, as well as an innovative means of community policing, kindness citations. York Police Commissioner Michael Muldrow personally took to the streets in search of York citizens helping each other through kindness.
It's time to kick off Kindness Week. We're going to be writing citations, but we're going to be writing citations for the good stuff that people are seeing around the communities. Everything that you do for this community is important, it's impactful, and it's necessary. And I just want you to know that you're appreciated. So you had to be the first person to be issued a kindness citation.
Appreciate it, for real.
This movement that was inspired by a single act of kindness has begun to spread through communities all across our nation and led us to the World Kindness Movement 11th General Assembly in Palermo, Italy, where delegates from 40 nations across the globe came together, unified in their call to action to government officials worldwide and the United Nations to embrace our vision of creating a worldwide culture of kindness. From Pennsylvania to Maryland and California, to Greece, Australia, and beyond, the movement has already begun. We invite you to join this powerful and important movement inspired by kindness worldwide.
We have weeks, even months, to celebrate broadly many things. Why not the same for kindness? So I call on and welcome every elected official, mayor, commissioner, supervisor, chancellor, governor, prime minister, and president of every community, state, province, region, and country in the world to do it. Let's elevate kindness to the global shared value that represents all of humanity. I also urge the United Nations to show its leadership and support. Despite our differences, can't every member nation at least agree on the need for humanity to stand on a shared platform that connects us? Kindness is that platform. So vote. It's one unanimous vote our world expects. There's no reason not to, and every reason we must. one kind act, followed by another, one person, and one community at a time. That's how we change the world, and that's the vision of Kindness Worldwide. So let's strive to be the reason someone believes in the goodness of people in each and every moment, in each and every interaction, in each and every day. If we do, our world will be forever changed. As we do, be mindful and grateful. Let's use the power we possess to be the change we wish to see in the world. Together, let's change the world.
Gosh, there's a lot of onions in my office, man. I don't know what's going on.
It's funny. I used to live in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and then WGAL was right there. I'm like, holy crap. It was right there in my own town.
Yeah, Ann Shannon did this story. It's funny. After this happened, Rob, I impulsively, instinctively, I'm like, I should have done more. I mean, this young woman literally went the extra mile for me, and I felt I should have gone the extra mile for her. And it was just an instinct. And I'm like, I just reached out to the news. I said, if anyone would cover this story, and this young woman would see it, I knew it would inspire people, but it was just a way of acknowledging her in a more meaningful way. Only one reporter replied. Only one. And I sent it to all of them, which kind of shows is kind of a state of what the media's priorities are these days. Ann Shannon from WGAL replied within 7 minutes. And she saw something good in my email that resonated. I learned after the fact that she had just covered her murder-suicide the night before. All the negativity was weighing on her. And she came to do the interview the following Monday, and then it went viral. And the rest, as they say, is history. But I have give a lot of credit to Ann Shannon, because I've said many times, again, Kindness Worldwide is not my story, it's ours. I can point the finger to any one of dozens of people and honestly, legitimately say, if it were not for them, Kindness Worldwide would not exist. And Ann Shannon is one of them. Commissioner Michael Muldrow is another. There are so many people who are coming in, becoming part of the story, that are writing these chapters together. But I will always be grateful to Ann Shannon from WGAL Channel 8.
Hey, Kevin. Yeah, I could go on and on, but I won't. So Colleen wants to know, and I do too. I know you talked about it a little bit in passing. Tell us about the cards. And folks, if you want to, you can DM Colleen here. She would like you to send her, give you her address in the private chat. And so she can do her thing. Surprise. But tell us about the cards, man, and how they work and what we could do with them.
Yeah, so developed See the Good and Be the Good cards. There's two different types of cards, and they're all available on our website. I've tried to make everything available for free. Kindness is free. Kindness costs nothing. So I want to have these resources available. There are things that are going to take resources, but the movement itself costs nothing, which is kind of the beauty of it. But I mentioned mindful kindness. There's a science behind it. We can develop mindful habits and behaviors about kindness. And one is let's see the good in each other. Let's recognize and celebrate the kindness of others, and let's be on the lookout for it. Be mindful of it. So the See the Good cards are cards that if you see someone being kind in some way, maybe it's just a smile, or maybe just they do something really that stands out, give them a See the Good card and say, I see the good in you. And then you encourage them to see the good in someone else and pass it forward to continue the ripple. The Be the Good cards, I mentioned earlier, there are 16 different acts of kindness, 16 very simple acts anyone can perform and do. And the recipient of a Be the Good card is encouraged to perform that act of kindness, pass it on to the other individual that they're doing the act to, and then that individual is encouraged to pass it on, perform, and continue the ripple effect. Again, available on the website. I think that's a gift to everyone that's here today. I know Colleen is going to be mailing or sending out a set of Be the Good cards to everyone, but they're also available to download on the website. Again, we have many merchants locally and beyond that are going to be distributing these cards during Kindness Week worldwide, but it's all about promoting mindful kindness and developing mindful habits and behaviors. If we can do it for 8 days every year, we can extend those habits throughout the year. That's how we create a culture of kindness, and that's one of many ways that we literally can change the world. I say that with a straight face. Look, I'm a idealist and I'm a visionary thinker, but I'm also a realist. But I say it with a straight face. This one act of kindness already has changed the world. There are people alive today that would not be alive were it not for this one act of kindness. This act of kindness is literally going to change the world, and we're all going to be changing the world together by writing the future chapters of this beautiful story together.
Yeah, Kevin, you're not minimizing the challenges, struggling of the world or anything like that. What I love most about it is we're just amplifying the good that's already existed, and as April Wyatt loves to say, being intentional about sharing that. Um, and real quick, I'm going to make you blush a little bit. Get over it. All right, you're used to it. But I see your leadership. You work tirelessly. You never complain. You practice what you preach, and you do. You have done this very much from servant leader. It's an understatement. So I don't know if you covered this. Tell us about the ambassadors, because I want to make sure these folks know how to plug into these elite business care bears, very successful, ambitious people, but never forgot that they were people before they're business people. So how did they come along? And by the way, folks, see what happens when you work together. Now Miss Pennsylvania, who is a kindness ambassador, she's going to be rolling with us on the media right now. So take it away. Tell people how they can get involved with the with more so, and how they can interact with the ambassadors. I know they share things online.
Well, thank you, Mike. And by the way, you are one of many Kindness Worldwide Global Ambassadors. So thank you for your leadership by example, and in Hound's community, and everyone's here today is exuding kindness in various ways. But to me, everything's about vision, and I have a vision, and I think it's important as a leader. You got to express what that vision is. I don't care how bold it is. If you don't believe in your vision to put it out there, that's not you must not be confident in it. So when I say the vision of Kindness Worldwide is all 50 states, every country in the world, and the United Nations, that's the vision. And I'm determined there's a path to get there. The vision for our ambassadors is an ambassador that represents every state, every country in the world. That's the ultimate vision over time. Who are the ambassadors, and what's the program about? Well, these are people who, in their own ways, are leading by example, that are either individuals or they running organizations that are about promoting kindness, encouraging kindness. The goal of the ambassador program is twofold. Number one is these are individuals who believe in this vision, believe in this movement, are championing the effort, spreading the word, because this movement goes nowhere without people that are going to go out there and spread the word, because the news media, this is not their narrative. And I could tell you stories behind the scenes. This goes against their narrative. I've been censored by one media organization already. And the news media has a narrative largely that if it bleeds, it leads. My mindset is if it's good, it should. And so if we want this movement to resonate, we got to spread the word, because the media is not going to do it for us. That's why it's the people's movement. But so these are the people that champion the mission, the vision, the movement, believe in it. But these are also individuals that I want to shine a brighter light on, because at some point there is a global tipping point that's approaching. It is nearing. I feel it. I know it. I think this film that's coming out will help get there. But at some point, this is going to get in the mainstream circles, and people are going to wonder how this happened. Well, number one, the signs have been there all along. People aren't looking, but they can go back and see all the signs. But I want to shine a light on all these people, say, well, this didn't happen because of me. It happened because of us. All these ambassadors, take a look at their profiles. Look at what they're doing to lead with kindness and make our world a better place. So the goal is, ultimately to shine a light. I like to deflect light for me. I'm not comfortable, candidly, a bit with any of this. I mean, I become the face of something that it's important, and I reluctantly, I kind of am that messenger, if you will, but I'm an ordinary guy. I like to be behind the scenes. I don't like to be in front of the camera. I mean, if this is about me, about Kevin Smith, I'd be so far out in the hills, hiding out in the mountain hideaway somewhere, no one could find me. But I know that this movement's resonating with people, and it's going to continue, but it's deflecting the light from me, because it doesn't deserve to be with me. It deserves to be with us and all the ambassadors, all the people that are making this movement possible. That's really what the ambassadors program is about. People that are going to bring Kindness Week worldwide to their communities. So yeah, anyone has an interest in learning more, we still got more states to go, more countries to go, but we'll get them all eventually. I'm determined that we will.
Yeah, that's not just eloquent speech. That's God's honest truth. So that's what I mean. I love it. Anybody got any questions? Nicole, Colleen, if she's here, anybody have a statement?
I don't have any questions, but I appreciate you coming, Kevin. I think this has been amazing. And I appreciate everybody coming out and supporting this. If I don't have your address, please send it in the chat. And if I do have it, don't worry about it. If I don't have it, you think I'm weird for asking for it, give it to Mike, because that's even weirder. No, I'm just kidding. Because yeah, give it to someone you trust. But let's get you rolling. I'd love to gift everybody these cards so that you can have them in hand when Kindness Week hits, and we can really just be the voice and the power behind this movement and really help Kevin out with this.
Kevin, did you put your LinkedIn? If you already did, do it again. Put your LinkedIn in there if folks want to connect. And because the easiest way to do it is just to share, repost all the good things you're putting out there. And if you want a super tip, it's free, it works. Birds of a feather flock together. So when you see people popping in and commenting and getting behind this movement, it's organic, it's never forced. And guess who you want to do business with? Yeah, build those relationships, right? Tag those folks, go love on their stuff, get that ball rolling. I mean, here we are. I mean, opportunities crop like corn, not because I'm looking for it, because I'm pushing up Kevin. And those people see that. And this is what me and Colleen have going on together, Nicole. So absolutely. Don't be shy. That's why no stranger danger. We will Sadie Hawkins style grab your arm and put you on that dance floor. All right. So I see a couple of you shy birds. It only lasts for a little bit. All right. But seriously, hit me up if you guys are kind of like, hey, I want to help, but I don't know how. Hit Colleen. But seriously, it is just a breath of fresh air, and it's an honor to push this up and work along Kevin. The more the merrier, folks. So if you got ideas, we're all ears. Okay.
Mary's got her hand up.
Hey, hi. This is wonderful. And Colleen told us about it last week, and I knew I had to be here. So I would love to learn how to be an ambassador. I don't know if that's a process or what that entails, but I would love to figure that out and spread the word as much as possible. So thank you so much. I appreciate this.
Thank you, Marion. Thank you, Mike and Colleen. I apologize. It shows my technological naivete, but in terms of putting the link into the chat, again, I'm an ordinary guy that doesn't understand technology very well, but just Google.
Yeah, how does somebody set up a one-to-one with you? You can even shout it out, maybe.
Yeah, well, definitely. Well, you can just Google, or not Google, but go to LinkedIn, Kevin Smith, or Kindness Worldwide, or go to the website, kindnessworldwide.org. You can email me at, ksmith@kindnessworldwide.org. I can write that in the chat.
We got you.
And yeah, anyone who's interested in learning more, being an ambassador, I mean, just because you're here today already tells me the heart space that you're all in. And that's where it starts. I mean, the ambassadors, the must-are, these are people, what I look for more than anything are people guided by heart, passion, and purpose. When you surround yourself with individuals with those qualities, magic happens, miracles manifest. And so I appreciate that. Appreciate all of you. And Mike, again, you've been a wonderful ambassador. You've been part of this story early on and really championing this effort because you believe in it and you see the path and you know this is not pie in the sky stuff. This is real. You mentioned earlier York County, Pennsylvania, the homicide rate in just 2 years' time. You know, I'm not going to take credit for all this. It's a combination of people leading with kindness, but coincidentally, from the time this journey began, the homicides in York County was 22. Last year was 4. If you put an economic value on and you quantify that impact, if you can quantify it, it's $230 million of favorable economic impact in York County, Pennsylvania. This culture of kindness, seeing the crime rate go down. You look at compassion to animals, the York County SPCA, visionary leadership guided by kindness. The save rate was 53%. That meant almost, more than half the animals that came into the shelter didn't have live outcomes 12 months later. That save rate in just 3 years' time went from 53 to 95%, highest in the country, because of the community coming together and supporting, kindness, compassion to animals. And by the way, it was a profile picture of a young woman with her dog, Brooke Dobbs, is how I identified who this young woman was. So there's a connection to the York County SPCA. On Give Day, it's a 24-hour period every May. The community comes together. Last year, they raised $5.6 million for over 300 nonprofits in our county. So this culture of kindness, this vision, it's real. It's happened. York County is got a culture of kindness. This movement began here, but it doesn't end here. So, but it really does take ambassadors and people championing this effort in various ways. So thank you all.
And I will just add to that, kindness changes lives. We're talking about the ROI. We can talk about the financial end of it, but at the end of the day, there is no price that you can put on the worth of a soul.
Amen.
And so when you reach out in kindness, you just really don't know the kind of day somebody's had. And just giving them a little bit of dignity is huge, huge. And just saying, I see them. That's it. Just see them and accept them with love. It doesn't have to be profound. You don't have to move mountains. You just have to be a force for good.
Be the reason someone else feels seen. That's one of the kindness cards, by the way. So you said it so well, Colleen. Very true.
I love that. All right, everybody, we will close. Please make sure that you dropped your information in the chat if you would like me to mail you. Let's talk about this. I'm sick. Mail you a set of cards for free. They are free. I will mail them to you. They are free because Kevin gifted them to us. And then I will get those in the mail this week, so you have them next week for Kindness Week. But of course, you can always use them, and that's the important part. And you can always go and get more from Kevin. And if anybody is interested, I like that you threw that in there right now, Rob. I'll write it down. If anybody is interested in being an ambassador, reach out. I did put Kevin's contact information in. There's a form he has on his website. I linked to that so that you guys can go in and just fill out that form and get connected with him and let him know that you're interested in being an ambassador. The more hands, the merrier. I know that we need people and we need to spread the love. So let's go get them.
Thank you for your kindness, Colleen. Really appreciate you.
Thank you for showing up, Colleen. This one I think I couldn't like you and follow you even more. You show up feeling like that gummit. Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin. It was a wonderful presentation and much needed in today's world. There's much too much meanness and uncaring going on in this world today. We need more people like you.
Well, we need more people like us, and we're going to make this happen. This movement is real. This vision will manifest. I can promise you that. So stay tuned. More good to come. And we're all going to be writing the future chapters of this beautiful story together.
And thank you for reminding me to donate blood, because I just did scheduled tomorrow for double red blood cells. I'm on my way to 7 gallons of B negative blood. So trying to get to a 55-gallon drum of donations. So
you saved many, many lives with those donations. So good for you. Thank you so much.
That's a lot of cookies and juice, my friend. Keep it up.
All right. Thank you. Everybody have a good day. Nicole, I'm writing down one last email or one last address, and then I'll be out.
Sure. You just let me know when you're ready, and I'll send you the link for the recording.
Thank you.
Hey,
Wonderful.
Rob,
Thank you.
I always love people that name themselves. What does your name say? Your what?
I am your better known as your health and wealth bodyguard. There's no violence involved with that, but it's all about protecting policyholders, showing them how to become consumers of their health care instead of being victims.
I see a future with Rob and Phil connecting for sure. You two need to connect seriously.
We're going to have to fight over talking to Rob, Phil. I'll let you go. I steal all the other.
Well, hey, listen, if you go to a networking group and you have yet to set up a one-to-one, what the hell are you doing here?
Come on,
you
now.
work on his.
You got to come away with
your
meetings set up. And actually, last week was really, really good for me. I got 4 meetings set up from last week, and Carol Boston, I'll tell you what, man, we had a lot of fun, and we'll probably wind up working together. And thank you so much, Colleen, for introducing me to her. But that's what it's all about. Carl Lucci, who was in the meeting previously, he's a mad scientist when it comes to the art of networking, and he's really showed me there's a reason to show up to networking, and it's you never pitch somebody you network with ever. That's taboo.
I've never heard that before.
They're not somebody you sell to. They're somebody you get to know better and figure out how can you help them grow their business. Because, and Carl said, as Zig Ziglar said, the more people you help, it comes back to you tenfold. And really, it's all about trying to put some business in people's laps. And then, you'd want them to do that for you as well. And, for goodness, I mean, listen, they're going to find out about you. And if they're interested in your services, they're an adult. They'll just say, you know what, I'm going to call you about something. I have a question. But that's a great thing about your Health and Wealth Bodyguard. It doesn't cost you any money to get information from me. I am everybody's Health and Wealth Bodyguard. It's all about empowering you with the right knowledge to make the right decisions for yourself. I hate to be sold just like anybody else. Somebody shows up and, selling and telling and doing all this stuff. And, it's uncomfortable. It's like, wait a minute, this was a networking group. And I was really trying to find out more about you. But right now, the way I understand it is you're a person that doesn't know how to network really.
Come on now. We were going to go on just fine. I'm booking an appointment now. I'll show you what to do after the one-to-ones. It's going to be fun. This is awesome. Thanks, Colleen, for putting this together.
Thanks, Colleen.
I think she's down and out, guys. You have a good day. We'll get that recording up. Thank you so
Bye,
much.
Nicole.
Bye-bye.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
Kevin.
Everyone, enjoy the rest of your week.
Good to
Take
see
care.
you, Phil.
See you, April.
Thank you, Kevin.
Catch you later.